United Kingdom is preparing to join an ambitious European Union plan that aims to unlock nearly £8 billion worth of frozen Russian assets. The funds, held since the early sanctions against Moscow, will now be redirected to strengthen Ukraine's aid and recovery efforts. According to the Times, Britain intends to channel these frozen Russian sovereign assets directly into programs designed to support Kyiv's defense and reconstruction. The move demonstrates that London remains firmly committed to sustaining Ukraine's wartime economy and meeting its humanitarian needs. This decision also underscores the UK's determination to stay closely aligned with its European partners on every aspect of the Ukraine issue. After stepping away from the EU politically, the UK's renewed coordination reflects its recognition that the transatlantic alliance must act together to counter Moscow's aggression. NATO foreign ministers convened in Brussels on December 3 to deliberate on how the massive pool of funds could be lawfully and efficiently deployed. The discussion marked a fresh step toward translating frozen money into tangible financial backing for Ukraine's government. However, the final mechanism to release or reroute these assets remains undecided, leaving member states to iron out complex financial and legal details. Questions around ownership, interest profits, and international law have prevented any immediate transfer from taking place. UK Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper stressed the need for a carefully coordinated international blueprint for accessing Russian sovereign assets. She emphasized that only a unified and transparent plan can ensure accountability while maintaining the legality of such unprecedented measures. Yvette Cooper commented on using Russian frozen funds, and I quote, "We need a coordinated plan to draw on those Russian sovereign assets in order to be able not only just to support Ukraine in the short term, but share that overwhelming message to Russia." On December 3, the European Commission unveiled two potential strategies to guarantee Ukraine's financial stability for the 2026 to 2027 period. These proposals were designed to close looming funding gaps and reassure investors of Europe's long-term commitment. One approach involved creating a reparations loan mechanism backed by frozen Russian assets, a plan that would effectively turn Russia's immobilised wealth into collateral for Kyiv's recovery. The second plan proposed borrowing money on behalf of the European Union itself, secured under existing EU budget guarantees, ensuring member states share the risk and responsibility. Belgium continues to host the majority of immobilised Russian central bank assets, which are frozen within its jurisdiction under strict international sanctions. As custodian of these funds, Brussels now plays a crucial role in shaping how and when they might be deployed. The European Central Bank has publicly cautioned against the creation of a reparations loan, citing serious legal and economic risks. Central bank officials argue that violating property rights could destabilize the global financial system and diminish trust in the Eurozone. Hungary has also spoken out against further financial assistance for Kyiv within the EU framework. Budapest insists that such moves deepen internal divisions and unfairly burden countries already grappling with inflation and energy costs. EU leaders are expected to make a final decision on how, or whether, to employ these Russian assets during the crucial December 18th to 19th summit. All eyes are on Brussels as political negotiations continue behind closed doors. Meanwhile, Moscow is not staying silent. A top Russian banker, Andrei Kostin, has issued a stern warning to Europe against using frozen Russian funds for Ukrainian loans. He accused Western governments of setting a dangerous precedent that could trigger retaliation. Kostin further cautioned that Moscow could unleash decades, perhaps as many as 50 years, of relentless litigation to regain control of its seized money. Such legal warfare would likely complicate international financial relations for generations. Currently, Western nations are holding approximately €260 billion in frozen assets belonging to the Central Bank of Russia. The idea of redirecting this immense sum toward Ukrainian aid has been circulating within EU circles for nearly 4 years, without consensus. Belgium's Prime Minister Bart De Wever has expressed deep reservations about this plan, warning that tapping Russian assets could spark serious economic consequences across European markets. In a letter addressed to the EU chief, De Wever went even further, branding the proposal as fundamentally wrong. His remarks capture the growing divide in Europe over how far to go in punishing Russia without endangering its own financial stability.